We're sharing some of the marketing secrets that we used to grow our two firms, and that's in the academy. And you had shared a worksheet in there that I thought was gold, and you used it. Tell me if I'm right, but you used it mainly for paid marketing. That was kind of the
Mhm.
first step in paid marketing. And as I was looking at it and filling it out, it's a, fill in the blanks. I realized it's what I did, maybe by mistake or by accident in the beginning of the
Mm.
content marketing journey that I started in 2019 and the YouTube journey. But you really simplified it and kind of streamlined it so any advisors can do it. And it's the ideal client persona worksheet. So
Mhm.
can you talk a little bit about that exercise, why it's important, why it's the first step for any type of marketing, whether it's, I mean, it doesn't even have to be for it's at any point in your career as an
Mhm.
advisor, it's a key thing. So tell me about the tool. Why is that so important? Give us a little taste of what it is.
Whether you, to your point first, let's address this. Whether you're thinking about organic YouTube content or blog posts or social or paid ads, like I want you to set marketing aside for a second. And if you have a practice already, one of the most important fundamental strategy things you can do or strategic things you can do to increase the value of your practice and change your trajectory is to get really clear on who you bring the most value to. So this is almost like a self-reflective assessment first. And I have seen a lot of worksheets that would start with this question of like, who do you want your ideal client to be, or what niche should you play in? I changed the question a little bit. My question starts with this: who is the client you bring the most value to
Mm.
and enjoy working with? We're in a business that is about human connection, right? We are not robos. We are not AI. And I actually think this is if an advisor focuses in on this here for a minute, this is the tool to surviving the AI revolution that I think will be
Mm.
coming to our space soon. This is
Hmm.
the key. Who is the client that I bring the most value to and I enjoy working with? When we love what we do, we radiate, the confidence is there. I believe we attract in the best people, but we first have to get clear. Most advisors probably started like I did, where we were at a large firm and we had to sell everybody that had a breath, right? And their objective for me when I was at Northwestern was sell 1,000 policies in your first 10 years. And not saying this negative about them, but obviously they wanted to sell product, right? So what happens? An advisor has some success. They wake up 3 years in, 5 years in, 10 years in, and they've got this amalgamation of 10, 20, 50 different types of clients. And they're just trying to serve all of them. And some of them they don't even like. And right. So the ideal client persona worksheet, well, is thought of oftentimes as kind of like a piece for marketing. I would say it's even more fundamental at the beginning, which is design the practice that focuses on how do you deliver real meaningful value. So a couple of the questions right at the top, right, cover what I call the 4 Ps. You have the people. So this is who is the client you bring the most value to and love working with. And you have to be people centric. We're not producing widgets. We're not asset managers. We're not creating ETFs or financial products, right? We are a people centric business. And the second question that you ask is what are the most challenging or complex problems? So the second P
Mm.
is problems. What are the most challenging or complex problems that this group of people or persona has today? If you just stopped there, you could see where this is going logically. If you identify a group of people or a type of people that you want to serve and you really enjoy working with, right? And then you can identify, you know what, here's the 3 biggest problems that this group of people has today, and maybe they'll have in the next 3 to 5 years, like as they're moving forward in life. Then the third P here becomes really easy. And that's what is the product, right? Which we're in a service business. So, like, we still have to think about this as product, though. Like, what is the solution that I bring to the table that solves their problems? And this is where naming, we talked about this in previous videos, this is where naming your process or naming something that you do, I think becomes really important. At LifeWorks early on, we created something called the protected portfolio. It was a hedged equity strategy. Like I didn't like get a trademark on the name. We just in our stuff started calling it the protected portfolio. And clients would say, like, I have X in the protected portfolio was designed to solve the fear that retirees had that they could get absolutely bushwhacked by another 2008, 2009, right? So it was
Hmm.
downside protection oriented. So 4 Ps: people, problems, product, and then the fourth one is pricing. And so when you start thinking about this from an ideal client perspective, right? If you want to serve next gen wealth creators, some people might call them Henrys, right? This 40-year-old making a really good living, upwardly mobile, maybe they have kids, but they don't have a lot of money. How you price your product for that group should look very different than how you might roll out your service offerings to a 62-year-old pre-retiree, early retiree with $5 million of available investable assets.
Yeah.
You know, we found this at LifeWorks. We charge a membership fee. We bill it monthly. Our clients that are in their 60s don't mind paying the membership fee, but you know what they've been asking us to do? Can I just like pay it out of my investment account? So it's not about the paying us the fee for planning. There's like, it doesn't make sense to like take it out of my investment account, stick it in my checking account, send it back, right? This kind of thing. So the ideal client persona worksheet is a very simple, non-marketing guy. And my background's not marketing. You have way more experience in marketing than I do. But it was my way of starting to logically think through, like, how do I actually build something that somebody wants? And it starts with, who do I love working with the most? Who do I bring the most value to? And then from there, you just logically walk out through people, problem, product, pricing.
Yeah, I love that. The problem part, we could come up with a few pretty quickly, most likely, if you've been an advisor for some time. I'm also going to I've used ChatGPT too to help as a thinking partner and figure out what are some of the other things that they're thinking about, second level things that come to people's minds that maybe I'm not talking about with clients when talking about when we think about their problems. So I'm going to do a separate video on that, on a couple prompts I've used to help organize that, specifically around the problem, the big problem that they might have. So look for that. And then the actual worksheet is under the marketing section, which we'll include a link below for the advisors that are in the academy. So look for that too.
They can also find it in the tools and templates section of the academy as well, if they just go looking for it there.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Ron.